everybody. I had a thought yesterday that for the past few years, all the blog posts and tweets and Facebook updates that I've put out, and much of my content all revolves around everything being a brand, not just people with a logo. And I wanted to take a minute to address that here. The past few weeks, everything that we've done on this series have all revolved around actual companies, whether it was the Turtle Beach or Amy's Baking Company or those Java Bimbos or whoever it was, right? And at no point have I talked about individual people, but I talk about it everywhere else. So I felt like I was kind of leaving one person out, one category out, and that needed to be addressed. You are a brand, okay? Paper resumes are dying, if not dead. People going to LinkedIn. Prospective employers are looking at your Twitter. They're looking at your Facebook, so be careful what you share publicly. And they're checking you out as a person, because I want to make sure that even though from 9 to 5 you come in, you do a great job of task A, B, C, D, that you don't go home at night screaming like a lunatic about, whatever, because that impacts you as a person, your approach to life, how you represent my company. And it always kind of did, but now that information is much more public and we're more transparent than ever before. So just the bottom line is I don't want somebody working for my company, for example, that screams and yells about some absolute nonsense, because people are going to say, is that how JVIC Media believes? Is that how they behave? Is that the kind of people that they hire? So you are a brand, right? And that goes for absolutely everybody. Now, I had two things cross my path recently, two different individuals who are violating this in the worst possible way. I mean, they are just absolutely bananas. So I want to take a look at each of these people and talk a little bit about why what they're doing, even though it is well within their right, makes them an asshole. Your First Amendment right to scream from the rooftops about whatever you want is a legal right. The government cannot come in and tell you no, but other people can. Other people can think that you're an asshole if you do it. So there are definitely social consequences, if not direct legal ramifications of your speech. So just think about that when you become very public about some of these things. So first things first, let's go ahead and take a look at this person. She came out here and she said, so far in my newsfeed this morning, there had been a gentleman in turquoise snapback. I don't know what that is. I'm not familiar with what that means. I'm presuming it's some sort of ridiculous clothing item. I don't know. About how much money he makes, and a girl whose only photos consisted of webcam pics that she must not have known were being taken of her due to the shocked look on her face, asking people to kindly stop messaging and requesting her because she does not model and cannot schedule photo shoots. Congrats on being defriended before 7 a.m. Quite the accomplishment to add to your portfolios. Happy hump day. And I don't say that last word. 10 years in the South, my defiance as a Northerner won't allow me to say that last word. Anyway, so the girl, I'm pretty sure, did know the photos were being taken, otherwise she would not have posted them. The webcam didn't snap it and then post it all without our knowledge, but that's kind of besides the point. So she said, quite the accomplishment to add to your portfolios, which means she understands the idea of things that you do being attached to your persona. Obviously. Yet, she is willing to call people out very publicly and in an insulting way and then cut the connection from them. Now, I would tend to think that these two people that she has disbarred from her life are not very, very close to her, because you let those things slide. If some of my closer friends do things that are stupid, I'm going to let that go because they're my closest friends in the world. But there's a weird kind of opposite approach to who you keep. If I only had on Facebook Linda, my mother, my father, and my closest friends in the world, what value is Facebook? I know what's up in Linda's life. She lives with me. My parents are my parents, my closest friends. We engage, we talk, whether it's phone or email or text message or additionally social media. We're in touch. So to be social is to expand your circle, expand your audience. What she's doing here is shrinking her audience, which is the opposite of everything I say. And it's anti-social networking. It's the people on the fringe that are truly most important from a social networking perspective, because you don't know who got a new job, who got married, who started a new business, who's in touch with other people, and who is that second or third level connection to huge opportunities in your life. Who's going to get you a job? Who's going to get you a client? Who's going to provide you a discount? Who's gonna. You know what the closest people offer you. You don't know what the extraneous outer edge people offer you. That's why you connect to them. But if we scroll up, we see she has a new rule being implemented. If I did not go to high school with you and have not worked with you in the last 3 years, your R being removed. Chances are she meant you, so we'll just go with that. Imagine that. Shrinking her circle. Less opportunity. It's a knee-jerk reaction, clearly, because she's irritated. But it's what she's doing. You know what? That may or may not come back to bite her in the long run, but I guarantee you this. If it does, she will not recognize it. Right? So that's number one. All right, let's come back here and take a look at number two. So this other one is somebody who I've known for actually a very long time. And this is really confusing to me because there's kind of a lot of ping-ponging of opinions happening here, and it's very confusing. So let's go ahead and blow that up and take a look. You'll see what he did is he posted this photo here. It says modern education. Creating people who are smart enough to accurately repeat what they are told and follow orders, and dumb enough to think that this makes them smarter than everyone else. Now, I don't really want to get too much onto a soapbox about modern and higher education, but I pretty much disagree with this. And I will say only very quickly that as somebody who has been through different rounds of higher education, yeah, you are following orders to some degree, sure, but you're very rarely repeating what you're told, because anybody that's on any research paper will know that you grab information, package it, and then put your spin on it. So while we're not really creating new thought, we are often creating a new perspective about existing thought. So I don't agree with that. And dumb enough to think this makes them smarter than everyone else. Maybe it does make you smarter. It certainly makes you more informed. It certainly gives you a greater set of knowledge to work from. But most importantly, what modern and higher education do for you is they give you new skills, time management, group dynamics, research capabilities, different ways to analyze information, a certain level of stick-to-itiveness, to get through the whole thing. So, and those skills will serve you. So I think we are greater than the sum of all of our parts. So individually, maybe not so much, but as a whole, what you get out of education is a package deal that will set you up for future success. The interesting part about this is that the man that posted this is formally educated. I know at a minimum he's got an undergrad degree. I'm 99% sure he's at the graduate level. He's completed a master's degree. So there's a little bit of a hypocritical nature coming out of this initially. Anyway, let's rock and roll through this. So I said that was very ridiculous. You see that? Let's go up. He says he thinks it's true for several people he's worked with, and yes, case by case, I understand that. They let others think for them, and they sound like robots. I pride myself on being opinionated and thinking for myself. Now, what you'll notice here is that even though he prides himself on having an opinion and thinking for himself, the minute you share somebody else's poster, image, status, words of wisdom, you're not really thinking for yourself. You are regurgitating what somebody else has said. So again, a little bit of contradiction and hypocrisy there. Let's move down. I said the poster here, the image, doesn't blame individuals. It blames modern education as a whole, right? It denigrates the institution. And someone sharing someone else's blanket statement is not an individual opinion. It's just about as robotic as it gets, exactly what we just spoke about. His response now is, if you don't like it, ignore it, because I will continue to keep posting pics just like this. Now, he prides himself on having his own personal opinion and his own individual thought. But the minute somebody else has one of those, he takes issue. So my final response was, so you're allowed to have an opinion, but others aren't? Is that what you're saying? You don't want to have a discussion? You don't want to engage in meaningful debate? You just want to broadcast your opinion, or truthfully somebody else's, as this was a share, and we kind of fall in line or stay quiet. Got it. So do you see what's happening here? He pans the use of higher educational institutions, even though he's been through it himself. He talks about having his own individual opinion and prides himself on it, even though he has shared somebody else's opinion. Uh, he values his own opinion, but he doesn't value somebody else's. There's a lot of hypocrisy here. Now, why does this matter in terms of social media and branding? Why is this important? In his case, I know he's I don't know, better than middle management, higher management, in what he does. And anybody that's in any kind of managerial mentor kind of position, this is really, really important. Because how can I tell my subordinates, go to school, get an education, think for yourself, learn more, do more, grow, when I've posted something like this? But the answer, but I post that to my friends. Yeah, but it's attached to you, to your brand, and you've defended it, so you believe it, you feel it, you've integrated this into your life, your train of thought, your mentality. Just like that other girl, she's integrated who can see what she does and who's worthy of being part of her space and part of her life. Do you see how social media seeps into other things that we do? Do you see how you are a brand, how you handle things, who you handle them with? That's you. And this is what makes you you. And it's not confined to the workspace anymore. It's on social media. And if you think that this is left only to that small core group, you're crazy. I mean, this is an archive forever. These things will be stored on a server somewhere that will, I promise, outlive you. Very important stuff here. Okay, think about what you say, think about what you do. Just because there's no logo associated with your name doesn't mean that other parts of you are not automatically associated. Okay? You are a brand. Okay, both of these people have proved it right here, that how you act on social media can impact your entire persona. Do not let it come back and bite you in the ass more and more moving online. Bottom line, don't be an asshole. Be open, be transparent, be honest, but be polite. The First Amendment does not protect you from people's personal judgments. And when you share yourself with the world, you open yourself up to that ridicule. People will take advantage of that. Okay? Everybody is subject to what the online world holds in store for you the minute you type in your password and click enter. Really simple. All right? As always, if you have more ideas, more questions, thoughts, complaints, gripes, criticisms, hit me. Here to talk. If not, stay tuned. Throughout the week, we'll see more status updates. And next week, another You're Doing It Wrong. We'll talk then.